Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Scorebook Stories. I am Alec. I hope you're having a great day today. We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Well, kind of fun. It's fun for me because I love baseball, but it's not fun if you're a fan of some of these fan bases, mainly because there are a lot of injuries. This episode is literally going to be an IL update and who's coming up to replace some of these guys on the IL, unfortunately. And well, we do have some guys returning and a few other signings to talk about, but we are going to kick things off with the monthly award winners. MLB announced the reliever, rookie, pitcher, player of the month for the AL and the NL, and the AL reliever of the month is Andres Munoz. Not surprised. He's been a absolute dominant closer. The AL Rookie of the Month is Christian Campbell. Again, lighting things up on the field. Not really surprised at all that he gets that award. The AL Pitcher of the Month is Max Fried. He's crushing it. He's got a 1.01 ERA right now on the season, so definitely deserving of the AL Pitcher of the Month. And the AL Player of the Month is Aaron Judge, who is probably the hottest the hottest player in baseball right now. Moving over to the National League, the NL Reliever of the Month is Robert Suarez, who leads the MLB in saves. We have the NL Rookie of the Month being Luis Angel Acuna. Luis Angel Acuna, I believe. I can't pronounce his name right. I apologize. But he's the NL Rookie of the Month. The NL Pitcher of the Month is Yoshi Yamamoto. Again, absolute dominant pitcher right now. He has a sub-1 ERA on the season, so he's crushing it. And the NL Player of the Month goes to Pete Alonso. He had a great month as well. But looking at the Dodgers right now, they are calling up infielder Ha-Seong Kim. He's being promoted from Triple-A to make his major league debut. Tommy Edman was placed on the injured list with a right ankle inflammation thing, retroactive April 30th. In 27 games this season, Ha-Seong Kim is batting .257 with an .801 OPS and 14 extra base hits. I still think Kim needs a little bit of time to adjust to the MLB game. I don't think he's quite there yet, but I do expect him to be there, and he'll be perfectly fine probably within a few months, if I'm being honest. Overall, though, like, I like his game. I think he's very good. He's a solid player. He's fast. He can hit the ball very well. So I'm expecting him to continue to adjust, and he'll become a very solid player for the Dodgers. The Baltimore Orioles have placed Ramon Urias on the 10-day IL and have recalled Kobe Mayo from AAA. This season in AAA, Mayo is batting .252 with a 346 OBP, 27 hits, 6 home runs in 107 at-bats. I really think Mayo is a guy that's very similar to Jason Dominguez in the fact that the Orioles really just need to find a spot for him on the MLB roster to see some MLB pitching and get him into that MLB mindset every single day so he can develop into the big league third baseman that the Orioles want him to be. I don't think there's much growth left for Kobe Mayo to do down in AAA. I really don't. I think Kobe Mayo needs to just struggle in the MLB and get his bearings with the big club. I think that's really the only thing left for him. And that's kind of what I believe for Jason Dominguez, which is why I feel like they're kind of in a very similar situation. But speaking of Jason Dominguez and the Yankees have called up Jorbit Vivas to fill the shoes of Jazz Chisholm Jr. as Jazz heads to the 10-day as well. Vivas is hitting .319 with a 426 OBP, 30 hits and 2 home runs in 94 at-bats down in AAA. Vivas is playing really, really well, and I think he is the opposite situation as Dominguez and Mayo. I think Vivas is pretty much ready for the MLB. However, there's no spot for him on this Yankees roster right now. I don't see a place where Vivas can thrive and become an everyday player for the New York Yankees once Jazz Chisholm returns. It seems like they got pretty much everything they need right now uh, to win ball games defensively and offensively. That is, pitching is a completely different conversation. Other than Max Fried, I mean, they're still winning games. They're playing really well, but Max Fried is really the guy for the Yankees right now, and they need some additional starter help. The other guys, that even though they've won games, I'm not confident in putting the ball in their hands and sending them out there to start games. But on a flip side of the injury update, Brandon Marsh is back in Philadelphia. Marsh appeared in 6 games as part of a rehab assignment in Lehigh Valley and posted 300 batting average, 400 OBP, 450 OPS slash line, or excuse me, 850 OPS. For 450 was the slugging percentage, excuse me, in 25 plate appearances, going 6 for 20 with 1 home run, 6 RBIs, 4 walks to 8 strikeouts, and 2 stolen bases. Definitely, he made defensively, he made 5 starts in center field while also making 1 start as a DH. It's good to see Marsh back in Philadelphia, but it's not going to be the same unless he can get his bat going in the majors. Like he's really been struggling at the plate, and he needs to be more productive in his plate appearances and in his at bats. Like, bottom line, that's what he needs to do. I don't know exactly what to expect from him moving forward. I mean, he went 2 for 4 last night, bringing his batting average on the season, I think, up to a 130. Like, he's hitting well below the Mendoza line. And if he can't figure out a way to continuously get on base, get some hits, maybe it's time to move on from Brandon Marsh. I mean, Max Kepler was really on the ball last night. He played really well. 2 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, only 1 K. Like, he played really, really well last night. I mean, Kepler even hit a home run, his 5th of the season. So like, Kepler seems to be the guy that's taken over the outfield position. Rojas needs to get himself back on track, and Castellanos is going to keep doing what Castellanos does. Brandon Marsh needs to continuously produce at the plate, or the Phillies are going to have to move on from him. Moving on to the Blue Jays, however, the Toronto Blue Jays agreed to sign free agent right-hander Spencer Turnbull, who was a Philly last year, and fellow right-hander Jose Urena, who was designated for assignment by the Mets earlier this week. Both of them were signed to major league deals. Turnbull had gone unsigned after spending the 2024 season with the Phillies, going 3-0, posting a 2.65 ERA in 17 appearances, including 7 starts. Urena signed a minor league deal with the Mets in late February after 3 appearances with AAA. He was promoted to the Mets earlier this week. He made 1 appearance, allowing 7 hits and 5 earned runs in a 19-5 win over the Nationals on April 28th. Urena is set to join his 8th MLB organization. These two really would look to shore up a staff that's carrying a starter's ERA of 4.55 and missing injured pitchers Max Fried, Alex Manoah, Eric Swanson, Ryan Bird, Nick Sandlin, and Ricky Tiedemann. That's a lot of injuries. So it makes sense that the Blue Jays went out and got some arms that are going to be solid and reliable for them. I do not consider Urena or Turnbull to be an absolutely dominant pitcher, but if you can get them to go out there and go 6 innings, 6 scoreless innings, or 6 innings with maybe 2 runs allowed, that's going to put the Blue Jays in a much better position to win if I'm being honest. It's going to be a very good look for the Blue Jays if they're able to use these two guys to get some more insurance and try to climb themselves back into the division a little bit here. Stay up to date on everything going on in the sports world by heading over to 7 Mountain Sports on Facebook, 7 Mountain Sports on X, on Instagram. We are on all of your favorite platforms, and you do not want to miss out on a single thing going on here at 7 Mountain Sports. Looking around the league at some of the schedules and whatnot, we have a lot of games today as you are watching it. The Yankees are taking on the Padres in a pretty important series there because both teams are very, very good. The Dodgers are gonna probably look to advance their lead in the NL West a little bit with a series coming up against Miami. That is that's going to be a rough one for the Marlins, I think. The A's are going up against the Seattle Mariners. The Mariners are a team that currently is in first place, but it's a unique situation over there. I'm not too sold on the Mariners as a long-term top of the line organization right now. They have really good players. Cal Raleigh is lighting things up around the league. Julio Rodriguez needs to get himself a little bit more consistent, back to how he usually is. He doesn't seem like himself at the plate right now. But the Athletics are a team that is sneaking themselves up the leaderboard in a lot of different ways, and they're actually turning into a really fun team to watch. I used to avoid watching A's games as much as I can. But now they're fun. I think they're a good team to watch. It's interesting to see them go out there and just play ball, a bunch of young guys just out there playing. The Orioles are going to be taking on the Minnesota Twins in a series coming up. That's going to be that should be a pretty solid and good chance for the Orioles to climb themselves back into a divisional race that is going to be dominated right now by the Yankees and Red Sox. And the Red Sox are going up against a slumping Texas Rangers. I don't know what's going on with the Rangers, but they seem stuck. It seems like they hit a road bump, popped a tire, and they're trying to change it as fast as they can, but they dropped one of the lug nuts into the gutter. Like that's kind of what it seems like right now for the Rangers. And I'm not sure what they need to do, but I have a good feeling they're going to be able to get themselves back on track fairly quickly. And I say that because last episode, if you remember, the Rangers were in first place in the AL West, but now they are in fourth. They are behind the Athletics, the Astros, and the Mariners, only ahead of the Los Angeles Angels. The Mariners are 20-12. The Astros are 17-15. Athletics are 18-16. The Rangers are 16-18, and the Angels are 13-19. This division is, I feel like, is going to fluctuate very, very much. It's going to bounce all over the place. I have no real worries that the Rangers are going to be in a significant slump. It may have just been a weird week for them. And then we move over to the Central, where the Tigers have a pretty commanding lead, and they're in pretty good control of the AL Central at 21-13, ahead of the Guardians, the Royals, the Twins, and the White Sox at the bottom of the AL Central. In the AL East, the Yankees are on top, with the Red Sox really close behind them. Yankees being 19-14, the Red Sox being 18-17. Blue Jays are in third, the Rays are in fourth, and the Orioles are in last. Looking into the National League, the Mets are taking a pretty commanding control of the AL East as well. There, New York is just dominating the East right now. The Mets are 22-11, followed by the Phillies at 19-15. The Nationals, Braves, and Marlins finish out the rest of that division. In the Central, the Cubs, the Reds, the Brewers, the Cardinals, and the Pirates are in last place at 12-22. Cubs, again, they're kind of taking over this division. Their series against the Dodgers, they were able to pick up some series wins that really propelled them to a new level, I think. Then over in the West, you have the Dodgers on top at 23-10, the Padres in second at 21-11, the Giants in third at 21-13, and the Diamondbacks are 17-18. And then there's that other team in Colorado that nobody really cares about because they stink right now. And it's annoying how bad the Rockies are. It really is. Because I have a Rockies jersey in my closet right now, and I want to be able to wear it because it looks cool, and I like the Rockies uniforms, but they stink, and it's embarrassing to wear out and about. Honestly, it's not that embarrassing. It's a Trevor Story jersey. I like Trevor Story a lot. Always have. But still, the Rockies stink, and I want them to be a little bit better so I feel more comfortable wearing my Rockies jersey around. Purely selfish reason. But I think they do have some good players on the Rockies. They're just not working. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on in Colorado, but it's not, things aren't clicking for the Rockies, and they need to figure something out because this is rough. But either way, the Dodgers, Padres, Giants all being 20 plus wins and under 15 losses is very impressive. And I think it is going to make every game matter so much more the entire season. So watching NL West teams play is going to be a treat. And if you have an opportunity to watch the Padres, Giants, Dodgers, or even the Diamondbacks play, I highly recommend you take it because these four teams are going to be playing every single game like it's a game 7 because they need to. That's how tight this division is going to end up getting. Moving into some of the statistical leaders, Aaron Judge sits atop the batting average leaders with a 432. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That is a very, very good start to the season. Hopefully, he can maintain it for the duration of the season. But I mean, that's a tough thing to do. Like maintaining that level of consistency is next to impossible. If I'm being honest, it's very, very difficult to do. But congrats to him for being on the top of that list. Following him is teammate Paul Goldschmidt, Pete Alonso, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Brendan Donovan. Aaron Judge also leads in hits with 54, followed by Paul Goldschmidt, Alex Bregman, Stephen Kwan, and Jarren Duran. Aaron Judge falls to second place in home runs behind Cal Raleigh at 12. And following Aaron Judge is Eugenio Suarez, Kyle Schwarber, and Spencer Torkelson, all with 10. I have a feeling that there is going to be less home runs this season than usual, if that makes sense. I think some of these teams and a lot of these players are starting to value singles and doubles a little bit more. I feel like the league is turning a little bit away from home runs. Not that they're turning entirely away from it. I'm sure every single player wants to go up and hit a home run every single time. But you can't do that every single time. You got to hit doubles, you got to hit singles. But I think prioritizing getting on base over hitting home runs has changed a lot of the way these players are approaching the plate or approaching pitches. And I love it. I'm all for it. Then we get into some of the pitching leaders. Yamamoto as a .90 ERA. That is unbelievable. Max Fried follows him with a 1.01. Tyler Mahle, 1.19. Hunter Brown, 1.67. And Nick Pivetta with a 1.78. Unbelievable. They all have about 5 to 7 starts under their belt. That's really impressive. Strikeouts, Mackenzie Gore is in the lead with 59. Zach Wheeler is 57. Hunter Green, Carlos Rodon, and Logan Webb all follow those two. Robert Suarez is in the lead with saves this season at 13, followed by Andres Munoz, Kyle Finnegan, Mason Miller, and Carlos Estevez. I am very, very, very impressed with Mason Miller once again. Unbelievable pitcher. Throws the ball so hard, and I like watching him play. 7MM Sports is your hub for all things Seven Mountains Media Sports. You can watch the latest of Sports Talk with Steve Jones episodes. You can find what station you can listen to your favorite Penn State sports team on, and you can even get live social media updates all the time. All of these things are available along with every single show produced by Seven Mountains Sports over at 7mmsports.com. Now it is time, before I leave you all to go and watch more baseball, it is time to talk about the storied pitcher and player of the week. Both of these guys had unbelievable weeks. The pitcher only started one game this week, but it was a dominant outing for sure. So I have to give the storied pitcher of the week to my man, Max Fried. Max Fried was expected to be a 1A this season. He was going to be 1A, 1B with Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole goes down with Tommy John. And Max Fried basically just accepts the challenge and is down for whatever's going to happen. He's ready to go with it. He's ready to roll. And he had an unbelievable outing on Friday against the Rays. The Yankees won 3-0. Max Fried went 7 innings, allowing 1 hit and walked 2 batters, and he struck out 6 throughout that entire game. Absolutely dominant. And the way that Max Fried is approaching his role as the ace for the New York Yankees is very impressive to me. It's really great to see Max Fried come in and be willing to shoulder the workload that was expected of Garrett Cole. Now the Yankees just need to get some starters in there to help him out. And then the storied player of the week is going to be Freddie Freeman. Played 5 games, 17 at-bats, 9 hits, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, a .529 batting average, and a 636 OBP. Freddie Freeman had an amazing week. I'm giving it to him over Aaron Judge. Some people may be thinking like Aaron Judge needs to be the storied player of the week. He is the best. He has constantly been the second or third player that I have debated being the best of the week. One player each week seems to always have one thing up on Aaron Judge for that specific week. And I am only looking at stats when I do this stuff from episode to episode. Everything else does not matter. It is episode to episode, and Freddie Freeman crushed it this week. He edged out Aaron Judge a little bit, mainly because of his RBIs. He got runs in. He got more RBIs than Aaron Judge over this past week. That bottom line, that's it. If you want to win ball games, you want to be a great ball player, you want to be a player that your team relies on, get runs across the plate. That's how you win ball games, is by scoring runs. And Freddie Freeman did that very well last week. And I mean, looking at his last few games game against Atlanta Saturday, 3 for 5, 1 for 3, 2 for 4, 2 for 2, 1 for 3. Those are solid outings. Those are great games. And he's producing 4 RBIs, 2 RBIs, 1 RBI, 2 walks, 2 walks, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 1 strikeout. So he only struck out twice last week. only struck out twice. Unbelievable. And Freddie Freeman had an incredible week. He even scored 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs. So the amount he scored as many runs as he had RBIs. So he's getting on base. He's moving around the bases. He's making great base running decisions. Freddie Freeman is without a doubt the storied player of the week this week over Aaron Judge. I know Aaron Judge is probably the best player in baseball right now, but he is consistently number 2 or number 3 on my rankings for every single week. Consistently number 2 or number 3. He's right there every single week. And the reason he's the best player in baseball is because when you're thinking about the player of who the best player in baseball is you are looking at the entirety of their workload this season. With everybody that's beaten out Aaron Judge for each week, they have been nowhere to be found when I go back the next week. Aaron Judge is constantly right there. And I really think that Aaron Judge is the guy, and he is on pace to be the AL MVP once again. He is my way too early pick right now to be the AL MVP. He is crushing the ball, and he is playing out of his mind. The only other person I could see for AL MVP is Max Fried right now. Max Fried is dominating on the mound, and he's at this pace, he's going to win a Cy Young for the American League. And if he pitches at this pace all season long, I think that is MVP level play, genuinely. But either way, congratulations to Max Fried and Freddie Freeman for being the storied pitcher and player of the week. I am going to get out of here because I would like to watch the rest of the New York Yankees game because they are currently playing right now, and I want to watch the Yankees play. That's pretty much it. But make sure you tune in every single Monday right here on YouTube or Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you happen to be listening to Scorebook Stories. Make sure you head over to 7mmsports.com to check out all updates. And it's just another place that you can listen or watch this show. You can just do that over on 7mmsports.com. Also, make sure you are following Seven Mountains Sports on Facebook, X, and Instagram as well. I'm Alec, and I am out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye. Go baseball. I love baseball. Oh, and quick thing before I leave. Congratulations to my good buddy, Dylan Murphy, plays for Millersville club baseball team, had their playoffs this weekend. Unfortunately, they came up short, but Dylan Murphy played very, very well, and so did a lot of his teammates. The Millersville club baseball team, that is my favorite club baseball team in the entire country. And make sure that if you ever see anything on social media about Millersville club baseball, you give them some love.